Hello and welcome back to the Let's Glow Show. It's Amanda Sweet, the Creative Fairy Godmother, and I help people get fly, make friends, and save the world through community. And the Let's Glow Show does just that. Every single week, we talk to creative entrepreneurs, and this week is the same. We're talking to another amazing. I was gonna say something else, and the word, I was like, what is the word? It's
Okay.
early. We're somewhere new. So for those of you that watch all the time, you usually see me in my living room. This morning, we're actually at Bamboo up in the summit room. So it's going to be a little bit more lively than normal. Usually, just my husband walks behind us, and now it's going to be a whole bunch of random people. But welcome to Bamboo, and welcome to our amazing creative entrepreneur, Samaiyah Abdur-Rahman. Did I say that correctly?
Abdur-Rahman.
Abdur-Rahman. Forgive
Yeah,
me.
it's okay.
So you are a doer of many, many things. You're an artist, you're a boutique owner, you're all over the place. Like after I met you, it was like, okay, now I can't stop seeing you, which is amazing. So
Yeah,
tell everybody all of the amazing hats that you wear and all of the wonderful things that you do.
of course. So I started off with SJL Creations, and that started in 2018, September 2018. And I started off like painting mason jars, just like a crafter at heart. And then it kind of developed into acrylic pour painting, and that's what I do now. Is I acrylic pour paint, and that developed into like workshops and sipping paints, and now I do that full time. And then I also have a clothing brand called Haus of Imani where I put up my designs on clothes. And I'm actually learning how to sew now. So I'm about to
Yay!
sew.
Amazing. Where are
And
you, how are you learning? Like, are you learning, are you self-teaching? Are you working with the teacher?
so I'm working with a teacher. Yeah, definitely. I
How's it
need
going?
a hands-on interaction.
It's hard. Sewing is like
Yeah.
very meticulous and mathematic, and it's like all about the engineering. I didn't know. I take clothes for granted. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Yeah,
Literally. I'm
yeah.
like, I didn't know it has to be like this, like cut literally this way, perfect to the T. If it's anything hanging off, it mess up the whole garment.
Yep.
Like the prep work is the whole sewing time.
Yes, all the pattern and the drafting and all of that stuff. It's
Yes,
it's hard, but it's very rewarding when you like
yes,
can wear the garment. Oh, I love that. Okay.
yeah.
So what is the big dream? Because you're young. I feel like you've had a couple iterations of your artistry several times over now. Like, what is the big vision for you?
I used to have a answer to this.
Yeah.
Like if you would have asked me this like months ago, I would have an answer for you. Now things are changing so much where I'm not really sure. Like I'm just going
Yeah.
wherever God's take me because He's putting me in places that I didn't think I would be in. So,
Like what? Like tell me a couple.
of course. So, I'm now a part of this amazing women's event. It's happening on June 1st for Christian women, like encouraging each other in our walks with Christ. We're doing interactive workshops. We're doing like this panel. I have a podcast. Forgot about that. Yes, yes, I have a podcast.
What's the podcast called?
It's called Holy Essence Podcast,
I
where we
love
talk
it.
about God, the goodness of God, Jesus, and I interview people about their walks with Christ and get to know their testimony and share their testimony. So it's amazing.
I love that. Okay. So I'm sure we're going to uncover, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I did this too. So let's start with the art. Like,
Mhm.
it sounds like you've been doing it for a long time. How did you get into art? Where did that start?
So it started since birth, honestly. What in the beginning, I used to just all I used to do coloring books all the time. Like
Hmm.
that would be my MO. I'm coming home after school and I'm in that coloring book.
Yep.
Um, and then like my parents bought me like this craft like box. It had everything in it. It was like black, I don't know, and it was like
It
I
was
don't
like a
know.
kit Was it
Yeah,
like
it's like a kit, like an art kit. It had
it
like
had the
a
markers, the crayons, the paints,
yes,
the
yes. It
pastel?
had
Okay, I know
yeah,
exactly what
yep.
you're talking
The
about. Yep.
the chalk. It had
Yes.
everything in it,
It was
and
like in a plastic case.
yes, it was that one. It
It
was
was
that
kinda
one.
like a
It was that
VHS
one.
case. Yep.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
You're bringing
All
me
the
back.
creatives had that. All the creatives had that.
Ah, I
So
love it. Nostalgia.
exactly. I wish they. I don't know if they still sell
They
those.
probably do. They
Yeah.
probably I feel like it was like Life Art or Art Life or something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. It was something like
I
that.
can hear the crinkling of the plastic in my mind, like, I can hear
Yeah. Like we about to get into it today. Like
Mhm, mhm, and then if somebody took one of your crayons and then it was all off.
and it's like,
Anyway,
I know you took it. Like it's missing. Like
it's
I didn't
obvious.
I didn't lose this. I would never lose
I
this.
love That's
Yes.
beautiful. So you started out young. Okay. So I
Yes.
know a lot of artists that, will do art and it'll be out of their own home and they'll do it for themselves and they'll just hang on to their art. But it seems like you went into entrepreneurship pretty quickly. Like, how did that transition happen? Where did that start?
So I know. Oh, I know. Okay, so I was gonna say I don't really know.
Yeah.
Um, so one, I guess it was like senior year. Yeah, senior year. Like, I just was like looking up craft stuff. I was going through a lot my senior year, like mentally. My parents were going through a divorce. I was diagnosed with at the time anxiety and depression.
Mm.
So instead of like, well, I was doing all the bad things, but I tried to find some good things
Yeah.
to help me. So I looked up like crafting stuff because I always like crafting. Like that's something I always kept up with. And then I
Mhm.
started like making my own picture collages and like Mod Podge and picture collages on like wood letters. And then I ended up making one for everybody in my family, like my immediate family, my brothers, my mom, my dad.
Mhm.
And then I was just like, I can start selling these. Like, they
Yeah.
were like, you can sell these. So then I'm like, okay, like I put myself out there. So then that's when I started doing picture collages and started painting mason jars. And then I'm like, I want more for myself. Like this is
Mhm.
cool, but I want more
Right.
for myself.
Yeah.
Then I looked up like easy ways to paint because some ways are a little difficult than others. So
Sure.
I'm like, I need like an easy peasy way to paint. And then I started acrylic pour painting and haven't stopped since.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
what has that experience been like? Because I feel like some people learn by doing and some people learn and then do. It sounds like you kind of just like threw yourself into the entrepreneurial life. Like, what has that journey been like? Because I met you at Michigan Fashion Week and you had
Yeah.
a collection going down. And so you were like putting yourself out there. I'm sure there was a lot of stuff that happened in between,
Yeah.
like you learning how to paint, pour paint, and
Hmm.
then, you know,
The
all the way to
clothes.
fat. Yeah, all the way there. What has that journey been like?
That journey has been so exciting and like rewarding and then also like exhausting and like um expensive. But like I try to like every opportunity I get, I know like that's where I'm supposed to be because if I didn't get it, that's not where I'm supposed to be. So I just try to take every opportunity that I get and like really soak it in and say like, I have to get my 10, like 1,000% into this, my 1,000% into this, because I'm not the type of person that would like have to do anything. I just can't. I won't be a part of it.
Yeah.
So like it's either all or like nothing.
No, thank you. It's either all
Yeah.
or no, thank you. I
So
love that. So
yeah.
what has been like how have you learned, because you said you got diagnosed with anxiety and depression. How have you
Mhm.
learned how to manage that? How have you learned to manage that and maintain your business and maintain like your like so such
Personal
positive
life.
energy? Like how do you teach us how you do it?
So, well, I really want to say what initially really helped me was therapy. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
lie. Therapy
Yeah.
helped me a lot. I've been in and out of therapy since I was 11.
Mhm.
So I had about like 6 therapists. And
Yeah.
like the one that I have now is like, really helped me like come to terms to everything that I was like dealing with and like actually take responsibility for my actions, which is a huge part of your journey.
Yep.
That not a lot of people talk about.
We love to play the blame game. Yep.
Exactly. We love to
Yeah.
point fingers when it's
Yeah.
like three pointing forward, pointing back at you. Um,
Yes. I don't know. Do you know a lot of Filipino people?
no. Well,
So
I don't.
I'm half Filipino, and it's funny because there's like a whole like our like do a lot of language like with our body. We do a lot of our speaking with
Okay.
like our eyebrows and our lips and stuff like that. And if you start to spend more time with Filipino people, you'll notice them like pointing with their lips, like pointing at things, and they're pointing with like
Uh-huh.
their lips and their eyebrows and their eyes. So like the eyebrows, it's funny. I was trying to break this down to someone. The eyebrows
Mhm.
is like the distance, like the more I do
Oh.
this, the farther away it is, and like you like point over or around stuff and
Okay.
you're looking in the direction. And the reason that we as a people do that is because we believe that pointing is
Mhm.
sinful and karmic. So if you're pointing
Yeah.
one finger, it's all these fingers back at you. So instead of pointing like that,
At this, like you're like,
because then you don't have the karma back at you. I don't know. It's a very
okay.
Filipino thing. So if you're ever out in public and you see somebody doing that, they're
Mhm.
probably Filipino, but it's for the same reason. It's just
Okay.
like it's
That makes
funny.
sense though.
It's very like to me in this context, it's very funny, but like the reality is this person who the I don't know how it started, where it came from,
Mhm.
like where in our ancestral DNA this like thing came from,
Yeah.
but it's that whole concept of like if we're trying to place the blame, like where are we responsible? And then also removing ourselves by pointing with our lips, like, but
So you don't get that side of it.
right,
Just
exactly.
avoiding that whole thing. I like that though because
It's
it's very true. Like you can't always place the blame on other people. It has some you in there
all
somewhere
of it.
somehow.
100%. I mean, if you're involved in all these scenarios and all of these things are happening, like where are you taking responsibility for your actions and your feelings and your expression of those feelings? Like at the end of the day, you are the only common denominator in all of your relationships.
Exactly. So at some point you have to look at you. You have
Yeah.
to look at you.
What was that experience like for you? Like, how did you how did you manage that? Like seeing that you have to take responsibility for yourself, especially like
Mhm.
starting out at 11 years old, like going into therapy. That's like you're still an adolescent, you're still a child. How did that impact the rest of your life, like getting into your like 20s?
So that impacted me very much because so my mom is a social worker. And like I've always been around like some type of mental health professional
Hmm.
my whole life. So it's like I was so self-aware that it was like detrimental to me.
What do you mean?
So like how can I explain this? So the self-awareness was so like I was very self-aware, right?
Hmm.
But my self-awareness was like rooted in like pride. So like it would be like a situation where um like it would be like something happened, like a family member did something to me. So then it would
Hmm.
be like I'm aware that what they did was wrong. I'm aware about what I did was wrong, what I said was wrong. But then I don't forgive them. But then I
Hmm.
have no like forgiveness toward them. And it's like, well, you had some part too. So it was like that
Right.
disconnect. It was like I understand that I said something I shouldn't have said, and they
Hmm.
said something that they shouldn't have said. But at the
Hmm.
same time, I don't want to forgive them.
Right.
So
But
then,
like,
where's the disconnect in between the two?
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like self-awareness and forgiveness don't I mean, I feel like there's some things that you can't for like as a human, like we're human,
Mhm.
the natural tendency is to like say that we want to forgive and say that we want to forget, whether we respect these people or not, or respect ourselves or not, but I always think that there's a part of us, I like even now there's a lot of people that have done me wrong and I think that I've forgiven them, but then when I think about it again, I'm like, I would not put myself back in a situation with that person. So how do you manage that? Like, how do you mediate that as someone who's gone through so much therapy? Because I don't think I've seen a lot of coaches and
Mhm.
I haven't gone through 6 therapists. So like,
Okay.
what was that like? We're going to just derail that. How do you know that you have the right therapist for you? And how do you know when it's time to change?
So how do I know it's the so basically um you just have to go, like, you have to go in those sessions and really just like see for yourself. Like really. I'm sorry, can we pause it real quick? Is that
Yes, yes, hold on one
okay?
second. And we're back. That was the first time we ever did a pause. So we're
Really?
back.
Okay.
It works amazing. Okay, so we were talking about how to find the right therapist for you. And you were saying you
Yes.
have to go into those sessions. Like, how do you know it's the right one? How do you know when it's time to go and move on to the next one?
So I had a lot of therapists that like either talked more about themselves or like reverted everything back to them. And that's not what therapy is supposed to be. And at the time I was young, I didn't know that.
Sure.
So it'd be like, it's almost like a friend, but like not a mental health professional. It's almost
Mhm.
like, yeah, girl, same. Like I've been through this too. And it's like, that's what a friend is for. Like that's
Right.
a conversation. But it's not so like, asking those deeper questions like, okay, you feel like this, why do you feel like this? Like, where do you think this stems from? Like, really, like, opening up that closet and taking some stuff out.
Yeah. So, okay, what for those of us that haven't gone to therapy, what should we
Mhm.
expect? Like, okay, it sounds like you really want to find someone that you have a good rapport with, that you're comfortable enough to like show the
Exactly.
closets and open the closets, someone
Exactly.
that's giving you the right kind of questions to dig deeper. What else are we looking for?
Um, right questions, you know, compatibility, and I would want like communication and like empathy. Those two are huge. So communication in terms of like um they allow you to speak, but they also let you think. Like
Hmm.
it's not like you should be talking the whole session. Sometimes
Yeah.
that's true, but
Yeah.
sometimes you just have to think. And then sometimes they have to like be able to say like, you know what? Well, let's think about it. Let's take a
Mhm.
pause. Let's think about it. Like not a whole like I gotta just get everything out today. Like
Just to speak,
no,
speak, speak, speak. Yeah. It's
exactly.
not like
So
an interview like this where we want
exactly.
to like be entertaining and talk. I as someone who likes to fill space, like I
Mhm.
obviously like to fill space with conversation and talk because we're doing this and we do a
Yeah.
podcast, but also like in reality, I'm also like very extroverted and ask a lot of questions and try to fill space with questions and
Yeah.
conversation that feels valuable. And that is a huge lesson that I feel like I've had to learn as a partner. My husband, Libri, is not the same. He does not need to fill space with talking or conversation. He's an artist. So he
Yeah.
can spend a lot of time just like heads down in the work, getting in there. And we talked over the weekend and we had like a little heart to heart. It was a big
Mhm.
heart to heart. Because I've been doing so much stuff all the time. And then when I finally see him, I just want to like block of text, just like a
Yeah.
block of text at him. And it's his only free time too. So we talked about it. He's like, just because I'm not saying the things that I'm doing doesn't mean I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
And it's been a long journey of me trying to prompt him with the question or the thing that I'm thinking about or the thing that's bothering me, and then giving
Mhm.
him enough space and time to respond to that. Because
Yeah.
in the past, even now, I want an answer right away. And
Yeah.
I want to like get to the like let's finish this, let's fix this, let's get to the end of
Yeah.
it. And he doesn't function like that. And I like have to rewire and just be like, because if
Yeah.
I shut my mouth for long enough, like he will be able to come up with his own answer and then deliver it to me time that's comfortable for him. So for me, I have to
Yeah.
do
You have to.
that and then remind myself like I'm giving space to do this. And it's really
Yeah.
good that you're doing it because it like hammers it in for me that like not all conversations have to be so verbal,
Yeah.
you
It
know?
takes time. Like some people need that time, and then you need that time. Like when you really think about it, it's like, okay, I really do need to think about what's going on in here. What's going on in here? I really do. Like you have to really um take a look at what's going on in your mind all the time.
Hmm.
It's really like, okay, you know, I need a little break.
Yeah.
But if you're always on a go, and I do this all the time, if you're
Yeah.
always on a go, it's like 50 million things like going on.
Bing, 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 bing. Yeah. How do
Yeah.
you manage that? Because you said you've technically been diagnosed with anxiety, and I know like my sister has ADHD, and she's also I believe she's been diagnosed with anxiety, and so she's found lots of ways to like slow herself down
Mhm.
really, really well. And I'm just kind of curious how you calm.
Zen.
How do you figure it out? What's your go-to?
My go-to honestly is God. That's the only thing that's really been like, making me really calm down and making me like go with the flow because I've always been like I'm a planner to the T. Like if I could, I would have every planner in the world.
All the cutest ones.
Literally,
Okay,
like,
so you need to come out with a planner line. Just saying.
oh, okay, okay. Honestly,
I could
thank
see
you,
it. I could
Panda.
see it. Y'all saw it here first with stickers.
Exactly. Y'all heard it here first.
I'll help you with your affirmation stickers. It'll be okay. I could see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm curious about what that experience is like. So let's
Mhm.
say, like, I just want to, if you're open to sharing it,
Yeah,
when
definitely.
you're in like a panic state or an overstimulated state, what happens? Like, how do you reconnect with God? How do you slow yourself down enough to say,
Mhm.
like, whew, wait a second. Like, what does that look like for you? Because I know everybody's experience is a little different, and I'm just kind of curious how you do it.
Exactly. Of course.
Yeah.
So what I do is I have like screenshots. I have like an album in my phone, and it's a photo album, and it's screenshots of like different scriptures, and like whenever like I'm feeling like bubbly and just like a lot's going on,
Mhm.
I look at that album and then I just say them out loud. If I'm like somewhere in public, then I'll just still say them out loud because
Yeah.
who cares? Like it's definitely for you. So it's almost like
Yeah.
saying affirmations, but these scriptures are like geared towards more so like being calm and like resting, in God's presence and just, coming to yourself and really
Right.
like calming yourself down.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I like visual. I do that as well. Lately, I've been feeling like a lot of this anxiety. I've been feeling like a lot of like, I like the word bubbly because that's kind of how it feels like when
Yeah.
like it's like bubbling through you. And what I've been doing lately, because I feel like I'm still on the go, and I was working with a somatic coach.
Mhm.
Her name is Mona, and she was kind of saying like, as a business owner and somebody who's like very active, some of these moments have to happen in between other moments, and life is still happening, right?
Exactly.
Life is still happening as these like moments are happening. So even if you're going through something, you still have to go to work and you still have to go show up as a partner and a friend and a daughter and a whatever the case may be. And
Exactly.
so some of the things that I like to do, I really like Abraham Hicks. She's like, I'm a
Okay.
very big fan of her. She's a like a law of attraction, affirmation, speak to
Mhm.
the universe kind of person. And when I hear her, like it sounds like she's preaching. For me, I'm like,
Mhm.
this is definitely like a divine conversation that we're having. And
Yeah.
so for me, I'm like, if I'm on the go, I'll just put my buds in, pick one because she's got endless hours of content out there.
Really.
And I just listen to it. And I'm like, okay, like I know when I'm listening to her, like her voice calms me down, like the way she jokes about life calms me down. And so
Okay.
that really works for me because I'm like, okay, I have this like sound or this voice running in my head and I know it's not mine or it's not the one that I want to have. So I just need to like change the record. And so I'm just
Exactly.
like, let me just put these in, focus, like pick the one, like usually I don't even look at what the topic is. I just pick the one that feels like I'll just like scroll, pick, and then it'll just be the one that I need to hear.
Yeah.
I think that for me is a big deal, like listening and hearing and also like allowing, like I want to like if I'm picking a random one, I'm like, send me the message that I need to hear or whatever the case may be. Like allow me to like participate in this like divine connection, even
Mm-hmm.
if it's a pre-recorded video. Like,
Exactly.
and I
You just
love that with
some type of like a slow your roll
a
moment.
slower, exactly. And I realized like yesterday, because these last couple of weeks have been like really challenging for me. But yesterday I was like, I was listening to one of the Abraham Hicks things, and she was like, it's funny how nature kind of responds to your inner being. And so, like, when you're out in nature and you're in alignment with yourself, you'll start to see things and nature will start to show itself to you. And yesterday I saw 3 bunnies. Three. I don't see bunnies ever, but like I saw one when I was sitting. I have my class on Tuesday nights. We
Okay.
brought the whole class came out, and this bunny just like walked in front of the teacher. And I was like, I see you. Like, I
Yeah.
asked for this and I see you. And then we went on a bike ride after class and I saw another bunny. And my husband missed it, but
Aw.
I saw it. And then there was one like in our backyard when we were packing up our bikes. And I was like, I see you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Thank you for the message. It was a very like, but also the ability to like slow down long enough to see it
To
and
see it,
acknowledge
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That for me was big because sometimes I'll just like blow right past it, even though I've been
Yeah.
asking for a
Like
connection
some type of message.
exactly. Do you ever do anything like that?
So I think like God sends a lot of confirmations. Like he can talk to like through you through dreams, through license plates, through like nature, especially nature. Because God made,
Yeah.
nature, I mean he made everything, but definitely nature. So I think God can speak to us through it pretty much anything, like
Mhm.
through people, through
Yes.
books, videos, especially Instagram and like TikTok and stuff like that. So, because we're always on social media, like
Yeah.
know where the people are at.
Yes. I
Um,
think I think that's a good point to touch on is Instagram and social media because we are algorithmic in that sense, which is not the nature of like humankind.
exactly.
And so I recently deleted TikTok because I felt like it was just like I kept getting fed like celebrity stuff and then I'm like watching it and then I'm getting fed
Mm,
more celebrity stuff and there's a lot of like weird celebrity stuff going on right now. And I would be on TikTok and I'm like, I don't want to watch this.
yeah.
And I'm like scrolling and it's more celebrity. And then like, and I'm just like, how am I getting stuck down this rabbit hole? I was like, I'm just going to delete it. Cause I'm like, I don't feel like reprogramming this app. This is not where like either I have to reprogram myself or I got to reprogram the app. And what do I want to spend my time on? Delete the app. Like I was like, delete it. And now like
Yeah.
I caught myself like on Instagram yesterday, like typing in like spirituality, abundance, manifestation. And I'm like trying because you can't follow hashtags anymore, which is something you used to be able to do. But
Yeah.
now you have to like watch the content and it'll give you
To have it
more
on
of
your page.
exactly. So like and like lately it's just been like Met Gala and all of that stuff. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to like I don't feel like participating in this. This doesn't impact me, doesn't impact my community. Like I want to
Yeah.
know what's going on right here
Yeah.
and here. And so yesterday I was just like protection,
You
manifesting.
seen
It's
that
gonna
one
be
video? It was like a wife that was like had her phone. It was like Disneyland, Florida cruise. It was like
literally that. That is exactly what but I had to be very intentional because it was like I feel like I slowed down enough to notice that like my timeline was looking like drama. And I was
mm,
like, why am I feeling so like shoulders up, tense, like uncomfortable. That's because like when I'm taking my break, quote unquote break, and I'm on my phone and I'm seeing drama,
Exactly.
and then I get into the world and I'm like, and then I'm seeing more drama. I'm like, that's because it's what I'm feeding myself, and what I feed myself is the input is output. So I'm taking in all this drama, and then drama's happening, and I'm like, oh,
Exactly. And necessarily you can't unplug as a, I mean, you can unplug as a business
yeah.
owner, but then it's like, you like it's going to take some fall back. Like
How do
sometimes
you?
it's needed, but it's like,
Yes. How do you manage that? How do you manage like social media, entrepreneurialism, like social media for business? Because
mhm,
yes, I get that, but like how? Because I'm struggling to learn that. I'm like, yes, social media for business. I'll be on there and I'll post my thing, and then I'm like, oh, I can't post and go, so I got to be on there. I got to like some people's stuff so that they see mine, and then next thing I know, I'm like scrolling,
yeah.
doom scrolling. So how do you
Mhm.
manage that? Because I'm trying to fix that. I don't want to do that anymore.
I haven't mastered it myself.
Okay,
But
that's fair.
I heard from another business owner that she uses like an app that lines up all her content and it posts her content. Like she don't ever have to get on Instagram. So I said,
Yeah.
you know what? I think I'm gonna download that.
What's
Really?
it called?
Um,
It's
I'm
okay
gonna
if you don't know
send it to
offhand.
you after because
Send it
I'm
to me after. Yeah.
okay.
Don't even worry. Don't even worry.
um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I was like, okay, I need something like that because right now I have 4 Instagrams that I'm yeah.
What are all your Instagrams?
5.
I'm gonna ask you again at the end, but
Okay.
tell
Um,
me all the reasons for all the pages
okay.
because
So I
we want to
have
check them out.
my podcast, Holy Essence, and then I have SJL Creations, then I have House of Imani, then I have my personal, and then I have the event that's happening on June 1st, like our organization Instagram.
Oh, so you're running that. Oh,
Um,
that's your organization.
so it's like all of our organizations. It's
Okay.
like 5 ministries in one building. So it's like
Okay.
3 girls have their own ministry, and then me and the other girl are like more so like influencers for God.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. And so
Christian
are you running the
influencers.
Instagram?
Technically, but
Yes.
it's like
If it's yes, just say yes.
we all have the password, so it's
Okay,
like
but you all participate in it, but it's another to-do list thing for you.
yeah, it's
So,
another
okay,
page.
that's a lot of pages. That's a lot of pages, plus all the work that goes behind all of those projects. So how are you like, how do you keep it straight? And it's okay if you don't, but like I would love to know any tips and tricks because I got two and it's a lot for me. I'm like, this is a lot.
But your content is fire. I'm not gonna
Thank
lie,
you.
you
Thank
take
you.
your time. You take
It
your
does,
time. I
yes.
know.
So I do take a lot of time. It also takes a lot of mental space for me. And like, I don't know that I've ever shared this, but like social media for me does not come naturally. Like I can make the content naturally. Making the content comes natural for me. Like I'm
Mhm.
always recording stuff, we're always shooting, we're always doing stuff like this. Easy. It's the pushing it out part that's like a
Yeah.
lot of work for me. And I was working with a young lady named Jamie, and for at first she was like helping me to post the content. But then I was like, this is the problem. I was too controlling. I was like, I don't like how you centered that. I don't like the way you punctuated that. Like I sent you the copy exactly. You copied and pasted. You pasted it wrong. Like I was too much. And I
Yeah.
know that I was the problem in that situation. So we transitioned, and she then was just coaching me. And she was just like, how many posts have you prepped today? How many posts have you pushed out today?
Okay.
And it was helping, but still like it was a lot of effort to like push the content out because I was overthinking it. Like, oh, what if it doesn't do well? Or, oh, I got to change it. Or I got to do this. I got to
Mhm.
post at this time. I think that's like an old algorithm
I think so
mentality.
because I don't think it matters anymore.
I don't
I
think it
don't
matters
know,
anymore
but
either.
some people say like they get more engagement in the morning or like in the afternoon or like after work. Like it just depends on the page, but
Right. But
um
I think you're right. I don't think it matters because because I posted something yesterday at like 9:30 and it didn't get a lot of plays, but it's getting more plays this morning because people are seeing it now because they're looking at their phone.
okay.
Does
Because
it
the
matter
algorithm
though?
is messed up.
Does it matter? Like And that's the part that I need to work on is like, I just need to do the work and push it out and keep it moving and
Yeah.
not worry about like, who cares if it gets a bunch of likes? Who cares? Because the goal is to have a visual portfolio. Really, for
Exactly.
me, it's like, okay, I'm constantly doing stuff. So I need to like just share it. Cause if I don't, I get so far past the thing that then I gotta backtrack to share this thing again. And then it
It's
just
like
never
now I
gets.
don't. Now I'm past 8 events.
Yes, and I like, but also that doesn't matter either. Like,
No.
none of that matters. Like, post your shit, like, post your stuff. Like, I was talking to a filmmaker recently
Mhm.
who's like Instagram famous. He like recently, not recently, but he's been like now all of his posts go viral. Like, he's a viral person. He's in Detroit. Donnie LB, and he is an amazing human, but he's a
Okay.
filmmaker. But the Instagram post that he made was like a food review, and now all of his content is now food, even though he didn't want to go into food, but like
Mhm.
his food reel blew up. And so now he's
Really?
constantly doing restaurant reviews, and he's a filmmaker. He wants to be a filmmaker, but the algorithm is put. So we had this long talk recently, and I was like, just push the film out. Like, he has a
Yeah.
film that was done so long ago. He's like, it was so long ago. What if I post it now? I'm supposed to be making food content. I was like, who cares? Just post it. You did it all, and so we all get in that space where we're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so long ago. And literally that conversation that I had with him, it was the most recent, but I feel like all of us do this to ourselves. We're like, oh,
Absolutely.
that was 8 years ago. So what? You still did the work.
Yeah.
Like,
And
and
people want to see, like social media now is like so nosy. Like let's just say what it is, very nosy. And people just want to see. They don't even care what it is. They want to see what you're doing. They want to see
yeah.
where you're at. They want to see who you with. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter as long as they see something from you.
Right. And I think it's so cool because it's like, okay, you post something, and I'm talking to myself at this point because I have this whole gallery of photos that I haven't shared yet from a workshop that I hosted. And I hired this amazing photographer, Kay Clips, and she had all of this amazing content. And I was like, that was like last month. And I'm like, I can't post it. It's so long ago. And I'm like, wait, that was last month. Let me just post it. It was not
Yeah.
that long ago. Time is flying so fast. So it's an interesting game that we have to play, but I'm working on like relieving myself and giving myself grace to just like post consistently
Mhm.
because I'm doing so much, and it's just like a thing, and not like putting my emotional essence into it,
Okay.
I
Like
guess.
making it more, even though we're not robots, but like
Just releasing it.
yeah.
Like, instead of like, is it the right time? Is it not the right time? Like, I caught myself in the past being like, is this going to bother people? Like, if I'm doing well, is it going to bother people? Or I keep posting so much positive content because I've had people say, like, one or two people, it's only like literally two people in my life that don't even follow me on social media that have said like toxic positivity. And they said the words in my vicinity and we're
Mhm.
talking a bunch of crap, but I took it personal for whatever reason. And I have
Mhm.
to be aware of that. I'm like, is that a dig? Was that about me? If I post too much good stuff that's happening, am I being negative? So I have that. I'm working on that. But
Yeah,
also, like, I'm working really hard to make sure that I'm surrounded by positivity,
exactly.
and I have positive people around me and all of that stuff. So it's just interesting. I'm just sharing what's going on in my brain. It's
Yeah. No,
interesting.
you're good. Like it was this one photographer I met and in we were in New York. Me and my friend were in New York and they had just did a shoot. They had just did a shoot, like let's say it was on Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday he had already edited. It was already like ready to post.
Yep.
And we were like, wow, like
Yeah. Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
it takes photographers like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, to get
Not
back
no
to you.
more.
No, so it was like that taught us a valuable lesson of like, take that time, whatever time you have to just make that video, edit that stuff, and just push it out right then and there. Because if you
Yeah.
lay on it, then it's like, you know, next week or like tomorrow, and then you got another event tomorrow, and it's like, okay, now I got 3 events to do,
Yep.
edit and stuff like that. And well, you could really just take that time and just push it out.
Somebody said something to me the other day. Her name is Abby. We work together. And like the revamped clothing swap that I host was
Mm-hmm.
on May 11th. Mother's
Yeah.
Day was May 12th. So it was like we were swap day, which is always like a big, heavy lift for me and for all
Mm-hmm.
the people involved. But it's like a 12-hour day and we're doing
Okay.
physical labor. So it's a lot of physical and emotional work. And
Mm-hmm.
then the next day was Mother's Day, which I planned for our family, and then also I'm still like very much grieving the loss of our baby. And so like it was the first Mother's Day experience for me post pregnancy and post miscarriage. And I like took it really bad. I was not expecting to. And I posted our recap video, which mind you, I've been working with the Hot Take Hub. They're amazing. K Clips, Dell, Win, and Gabby, and they're
Okay.
amazing. But they'll give you the content same day, edited reels with the captions, all like when I
Yeah.
say buckets of stuff same day, like it's immaculate. It's amazing. Like finished reels, they have like stories, reels, it's all broken down, which is amazing. And I had that content that day and I could not mentally like even open up the folder.
Yeah.
And then the next day I was so exhausted, but we were up at 11 and then we're doing family stuff all day. When I got home, I passed out. I took the next day off. And then I'm posting the recap from the swap on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was beating myself up about it. I was like, it was so long ago. It was on
It was like
Saturday.
3 weeks. I
Why?
mean, like 4 days ago.
It was 4 days ago. And my colleague Abby was like, I think it's the perfect amount of time. She was like, it had a little time to wait. Everybody else was also celebrating Mother's Day, which can be challenging for a lot of people. And she was
Exactly.
like, you taking the time to push it out makes me feel like you spent more time like articulating the message that you're sending. And I was like,
Exactly.
thank you for saying that. Because in my mind, I'm like, it's late, it's late, it's late. I was like, but it was on Wednesday and the event was on Saturday. It's not late, you know?
Exactly.
So that's
And
it's go
sorry.
ahead. No, 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 go,
And
go, go.
when you hear those thoughts, you really have to like, I do this in my mind all the time. Like I will capture that thought and like act like I'm killing it. I know it sounds violent, but
Tell
like
me.
the voice,
Oh,
yes, the voice of like whatever doubt, anxiety, or whatever, capture that and just like in your mind, like just, you know, like kill it. Like
yeah.
if you're like, think of like, Halloween, like literally, because if you don't, like that just keeps coming back in different
Yeah.
forms and then it
Yep.
grows and then it gets bigger and then it gets bigger. But it's like literally taking those thoughts captive and like get them
Yeah.
out of here.
I've
Like
been,
get them out of here, y'all.
yes. Like
Yeah.
another thing that the somatic coach taught me was like this kind of like releasing where you like rub your whole body and you do it from like
Oh
head
yeah.
to toe.
Mhm.
And I caught myself the other day doing it. And then also like I saw this YouTube video. I'm very like I love tarot. I love like universe talk. And she was
Mhm.
like, you need to like cleanse your space. This is when I was living in Texas. She's like, you need to cleanse it. All you got to do is just like address the energy, thank it for its presence, and then ask it to leave and say that it's no longer welcome. And then open up a door or a window. And so now I always do that. So like
Mhm.
even yesterday, I was like, I opened my front door and I was like, thank you for coming. You are no longer welcome. Please leave. Please leave. Get out. All of you, all of it, every bit of it. It's time for
Yeah.
you to go. And then just kind of like shaking it off. And I like that you said that because I feel like I need to do something
Yeah. Like
to address.
visualize it in your mind of like, I'm taking you captive. Like you have to go.
Yes.
Come
Get
like
out.
literally picture someone like dragging that thought out of your mind. Like that's
Yay.
what I do.
I don't know why I'm thinking of like the Fresh Prince when they used to like throw them out the
Yep.
door. Yeah. Yep.
Throw them out. Get them out of there. But I do want to say something. So,
Yeah.
um, about what you said about Mother's Day. So I seen your post. I'm so sorry about your miscarriage. I actually went through a miscarriage of my own on December 11th. I think
I'm
it
so
was December.
sorry.
So thank
Of this
you.
past year?
Yeah. So 2023.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Thank
Well, somebody said something to me that like really touched me. And she was like, Happy Heavenly Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And I don't
Oh,
know why, but I was like, very sweet. So
yeah.
happy Heavenly Mother's Day to you.
Thank you. Happy Heavenly
Yeah.
Mother's Day to you too.
Thank you. It was not easy. I was like not expecting it because I was just like, go, go, go. We gotta like
Yeah.
pick up moms, pick up grandma, pick up all these people, gotta ship everybody over to this flower place. Then we gotta have fun.
Yeah.
And I was not expecting to like be like, what about me? You
Yeah.
know, like, but the whole day I felt like I was like, I need somebody to tell me. I need
Having
my
like
husband.
you
Yeah.
need comfort. You need care.
Yep.
Like you need to
It wasn't
be.
even just someone. I needed my husband to do it, you
Yeah.
know? And I didn't articulate it properly in the moment. And that's why we had a couple of our like heart to heart moments because I was like, I'm really upset by this. I didn't realize I was going to be so upset by this. I'm now, after I'm upset, communicating with you that I'm upset about this, but
Yeah.
I'm like deep in the upset. I was like really, really, really upset. I was sad. I was angry. I was like, I felt unlovable. Like, I was like, am I hard to, all of those thoughts. Like, am I hard to love? Is it so difficult? Um, and then realizing that I didn't communicate that I didn't know that I needed to communicate it. I didn't realize
Yeah.
it was going to be such an impactful moment. But I think after the fact, I think I really was able to articulate like, I, as someone who is a mother of a lot of people and a mother of my community and what we do for the clothing swaps and very like nurturing and mothering all the time. And now we're on Mother's Day and I was supposed to be pregnant, but I'm not. I
Yeah.
need you, partner, to pour in because
Exactly.
it's empty. And next year, it might be the same way. And our
Yeah.
anniversary is coming up. So, like, I was just like, what I need to tell you to make sure that you feel successful in this process is I need some extra like pouring on our anniversary. And if I don't get it, I will likely be feeling the same way, like hurt, angry, unlovable, all of these whatever things. But I feel like I had to articulate it in that way because I'm like, I want you to win because I want to win and I want
Exactly.
you to win. So if I don't tell you that like I need extra love, I need to be like babied, I need to be nurtured, I need to be loved
Yeah.
on, I need to be coddled, then you won't do it. And then I'm going to be mad about it that you're not doing it, but I didn't communicate with you that I needed it.
That you
So
need it. Yeah. So like taking that time to be like, okay, like the self-reflection time is huge.
yeah,
But if you're always on a go, like you don't typically do that because by the time you get home, you're too tired to even like
yeah,
say anything. Or you say everything. And then it's like you don't really take that time to be like, you know what? I really need to like, I really need you. Like I really
yeah,
need like comfort and care and to make me feel special, especially after
yeah,
a loss like that.
yeah.
Do you
How are
have
you
like
feeling? How
oh
are you feeling about all of it? I'm just curious because
no, you're
how
good.
can I love on you better?
Thank you. So actually this is like really great. Okay. So when I had my miscarriage, I was in a rough space, in a very rough space. The pregnancy was definitely unplanned.
Mm,
And at the time, I didn't think could get pregnant because I had PCOS.
me too.
So it was like, what's going on?
Mhm,
Like this
mhm.
is a surprise
Shock.
to me.
Yeah.
So when so it was like a double whammy. Like I found out I could get pregnant and I was pregnant. Like it was like, okay. And
Mhm.
then like a week later, that's when I lost my baby. A week later, I lost my baby. So it was like a week of like, oh, I'm so excited! I gotta do da, 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 da. Like I was like planning.
Yeah.
I just said I would buy every planner. Like I was planning it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like I was like when it was happening, I was just like, why? Like, why is this
Yeah.
happening to me? Like, and I was really upset at God. I was so upset with
Mm,
God. I was
mm.
so upset with God.
Yeah.
And it was just like, why would you do this? Like, I don't understand. Like, I didn't even know I was pregnant. Did I get
Yeah.
pregnant? Like, why did you
Yeah.
do this?
Right. Right.
So I was just so angry. I was so depressed. I was so
Mm.
like in a funk for like till like February. So like from December to February, I was like down, like
Yeah.
mentally down. I was physically present. I may have been laughing and joking and,
Yeah.
exerting great energy, but deep inside, I was not okay. I was not okay at all.
Mm.
And what I really had to do was like literally go into the church and like just release it all. Like, talk to God and say, I don't understand why you did this. Like, please help me understand. Please help me like come to terms with what happened. And I went through like me and my boyfriend ended up breaking up
Mm.
because of my attitude because I was like crazy.
You were
Um,
not crazy.
I was not crazy, but I was like taking it out on him because he kind of already like came to terms with it, and it was like still not coming to terms with
But
me.
it's different. I mean, it's so different. It's like, it's one thing, and I was doing a lot of reading too. We were pregnant I was like at 11 and a half weeks. So we were like half a
Oh,
week before our second trimester. So,
okay.
and we had known from like 4.5 weeks. So
Hmm.
we had been planning for a while. And all this stuff's changing in my body. And I'm like, Labrie, like, why are you not as excited as I am, or as scared as I am, or as
Yeah,
terrified as? Because I was feeling all the feelings. I was like,
yeah.
I was talking to. I was very lucky. Still have several bump buddies that were like literally we were all finding out at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And like, so we would text all the time. And one of my girlfriends found out she was pregnant with twins and it was not planned. And she was like, not sure about the guide, but she
Yeah.
was like, we're going to make it work. We're going to figure it out. And like, I had both of us, and I don't know that I talked to anybody else about this in particular, but like
Mhm.
her and I got in this long conversation about the mourning period of your independence as a
Mhm.
mother. So like when I first found out that I was pregnant, one, I didn't think I could get pregnant because I have PCOS, and we have been trying for like 2.5 years. And basically, this I think is awful, but like OBGs will tell you if you're trying for a year and you don't have a baby for 1 year, that you're infertile. That is the terminology that they use. So they're basically like, you're
Oh,
infertile. Everything works. Everybody works. We did all the testing. We did all the stuff, but they were like, it's very likely that you're infertile. 12 months of trying and kind of trying is not enough time to validate infertility, in
no.
my opinion, because a lot of people that I know have had babies in year 2 and 3. But that was the way I was moving in the world because my doctor said you're infertile.
Mhm.
Everything's normal, but you're infertile. You have PCOS, like this, and that. Like, so I was coming to terms with the fact that I would never have a baby. And
Yeah.
then I find out that I'm pregnant. And then I'm like, oh, I already did all this work to like decide that it was okay that I would be not a mother,
Exactly. Yeah.
and then, and all of that was a lot too. And I feel like I have been
Yeah.
working on that for this past year. Like I started saying it to Labrie and he was like, you don't have to speak that way. And I was like, I just want to like get comfortable and I want to talk about a future because every time we talk about our future, it's about us with the family. And like, what if that's
Exactly.
not an option for us? Like, and what does that look like? And he's just like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And then it happened. And then I'm like, oh shit, it happened. Wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
And then I finally like over the morning of like, okay, now I'm a mom. And what does that mean? And am I never going to have time to myself again? I'm never going to be this person again. I'm always going to be somebody's mom. And, like all of those feelings. And then the baby's gone.
Yeah.
And then, mind you, like from the man's perspective, like I don't know what it was like for your partner at the time,
Mhm.
but like I was like, I'm pregnant. And he's like, oh my God, this is awesome. And he's
Yeah.
just like a dog with a tail and it's wagging and he's excited. And I'm over here like emotions all over the place. And he's just like happy, excited, like,
Absolutely.
like golden retriever energy. Love
Yeah.
it. Amazing. But like just happy and excited. And I'm over here like terrified, sick, and everything hurts, like, and then when it's gone, he only knows that it's gone. right? He
Yeah.
doesn't feel all the feelings. He's not seeing all the stuff. He's not,
Yeah.
you
And then
know,
that the first period after is like
I've had 2 periods since, and both have been really, like,
emotional. Like an
emotional, like,
emotional wreck.
triggering. When I say triggering, like,
Very.
the first period back, I was, like, very, very uncomfortable. And we don't talk about this enough. And
No?
like, this is the part that your partner doesn't see. He doesn't see
Yeah.
this part. He doesn't get to participate. You can tell him about it. You
Yeah.
can talk to him about it, but he'll never understand what it's like to have like a being in your body and then it be gone.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way for him to ever understand that because he will never have a child. He'll never know, you know. And so, you being depressed about it, upset about it, being emotional about it is 100% valid. And we're not crazy. It's hard. It's hard to get pregnant. It's hard to be a mother. It's hard to lose a baby. Like, that shit's real. That's like real
Yeah.
emotions. Like, you do not call yourself crazy because you are not crazy. You're a human that had a real experience
Thank you.
that really sucks,
Yeah. It,
you
it,
know?
it, it really shaped like I really want to say it really shaped like who I am today. Like
Yeah.
that was like, because it was like I was this one person like going down this one path, and then now I'm like this person going down this other path. And then I just really had to like give it all to God. Like, and honestly, that really helped me with Mother's Day because
Yeah.
um I honestly like God has made me be in a position where like talking about it isn't as bad. Like being around like babies isn't bad. Like not bad, but like I don't
Um,
feel that
yeah.
like, oh my God.
Weird about it. Yeah.
Yeah, like it doesn't make me feel weird about it. And my boyfriend, he was like, happy Mother's Day to you. And I'm like, hmm? And I was like, oh, oh,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, it is Mother's Day. I was gonna be around. So
Yeah.
like giving it all to God really like made me be in this position where it's not like super heart wrenching on me or like
Yeah.
heavy on me. It's not bad.
Good.
It's just more so like that was like amazing, like for me to have a baby and then like for the doctors to say what they say because they said that to me too.
Yeah.
That it would be hard or it would be like I have to do these things and all these things. You have to lose weight dramatically and be on all these medications. And I'm like, it was a blessing that I could even get pregnant without doing all those things. So
Yep.
forget you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, I've had a doctor tell me that I need to lose 150 pounds before I could even get pregnant. And I'm like, if I lost 150 pounds, I would be, I don't even know, like, I'm 250, 260. I would be like nothing. I would be like, I have never been that tiny at like, I was a child when I was that tiny. It's not
Yeah,
possible. But I've had friends that are 350 plus that have had babies. So I'm like, what is why is this the only remedy? Or are you skirting around actually giving me a solution? You
exactly.
know?
Because
And
they
if
don't
you
want
are,
to.
exactly, if you don't have a solution, I'd rather you say that than tell me like it's because I'm fat,
Yeah.
that it's not possible because that's not a real, like, in my mind, because like literally one of my friends who, she's like, I'm twice the size of you, and she had her baby at the time when we were having that conversation, and she's like, that's not it,
No.
because look at me, look at me,
It is. It's proven. And then I want to say one more thing.
yeah,
So,
all the things.
um, also what happened was God actually he healed me from the PCOS. Like I recently went back to the doctor and everything is normal. Like it's nothing like it's my chart. You can see like where your levels were before.
Sure.
And it's a drastic change. It's like I never even had it. And I'm like,
Mm.
this is God because where I was at in 2016, because that's when I was diagnosed.
Hmm.
2016 from now is like two different people. And I'm still
Wow.
the same weight. I'm still eating the same stuff.
I was
um,
gonna ask if you changed anything, like.
I mean, you know what? I did change my eating, but not like drastically.
Drastically. Yeah.
Um, I eat more like um, vegan options, but still, like, I would still get a cheeseburger. I would still eat
Yeah.
ice cream. I would
Yeah.
still like pig out sometimes, but and I'm not taking any medication. I'm not on any medication. So it's like this has got to be God. Like
Yeah.
God is doing this because it's no other way. Like
Oh
I'm
my
healed with
gosh.
PCOS and like I don't feel that, heart wrenching about my miscarriage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that. It's so beautiful. Yeah, I'm working on the healing. It's been challenging, but I do see, I feel like every life crisis like iterates a new version of ourselves, and I really believe in leveraging challenges, as weird as that sounds, but like I believe that we go through the things that we go through for a reason or for no reason, but
Yeah.
we can give it a reason, and we can find the joy, we can find the good in it. And I feel like while the miscarriage was really sucky, like I've met so many more amazing women like you who have shared their stories with me, and we've been able to connect on like a earthly level where it's like, I see you. I
Yeah.
see you.
I see you. I hear you. You are
Yeah.
heard.
Exactly. And so like that, that is a beautiful thing that has come out of this experience. I'm more vocal about what I need. I'm more like articulate at saying like I really need XYZ. And I'm
Exactly.
slowing down long enough to realize like, okay, like I get to feel these feelings. I don't have to be like happy, bubbly, go lucky all the time. And
Yeah.
most of the time I am, but those are the real feelings. But that's because I get to express the other feelings too in the way that
Exactly.
feels the most comfortable.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, it's been an hour.
We
I have so many other
are really
questions.
deep.
I have so many other questions. Okay. Okay. The last two questions is,
Okay.
what is the last piece of it? What is the piece of advice that you would give to somebody watching, or an artist or a young mom, whatever the case may be? What is your
Mhm.
last piece of advice or pieces of advice?
I would say definitely get to know you. Get to know yourself. Take that time for yourself. Um, Wherever it may be. So, like, even going on a walk by yourself, like, you need some alone time. Married, unmarried, whatever the case may be, but you need to get to know you, because if you get to know you, everything else will fall into place. So, that's number one, is get to know you. And then also, in conjunction with, find something that you really can connect with. Like, for me, it's God. So, I really can connect with God. So, implementing that in your daily routine can really help you, can really guide you. And then also believe in yourself. Believe in yourself and take those risks, because you only get one life. So
Oh,
you live your life the way you want to live it.
love it. That's beautiful.
Oh,
You're amazing. How can people find you if they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so vibing? Like, let's list all the Instagrams, let's list the website. Like, where can people find you? Where can they buy your art? Where can they
Mhm.
buy the clothes? Where can they come to
Okay.
the events? All the stuff.
Okay, all the stuff. So my art page is SJL Creations. And then my clothing brand, I'm wearing the dress right now. I don't know if everybody can see
Hey.
it. My clothing brand is House of Imani. So it's HAUS of Imani. IMANI. And then my podcast is Holy Essence with the underscore at the end. And then I'm a part of this event. It's called Young Women in Ministry. And our Instagram is Young Women in Ministry with the underscore, two underscores. It's on all my other pages. So if you go on those pages, you can see that.
Jump to jump.
Yeah. And it's June 1st from 11 to 2.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I will have to say, I got that dress. I think that is
Hmm.
that the I got
Yeah.
that dress, and I got Labrie some swim trunks.
Yeah.
Dress fire, amazing, so beautiful. And then the swim trunks though, those swim
This one?
trunks are probably like the coolest swim trunks I've
Oh,
ever seen Labrie in. I'm like, they're
really?
fire. The cut is amazing. Like whatever. Yes, swim
Yeah.
trunks right there.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I'm
Yay.
thankful. I'm really thankful. Thank you for supporting me.
Of
I will
course.
always, support you, Amanda.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thanks for waking up early and joining us on the
Of
Let's Go
course.
show. Thank you so much. And thank you for being such a light in the world.
Thank you.
I often feel like the same way that I pick like a random like Abraham Hicks video in the morning, or if I'll
Mhm.
like thumb to like a random page in a book to get a message, like I do feel like the Let's Glow show is also that for me. And so I really
Mhm.
feel like the conversation that we had today I needed.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you.
Of course. I wish I could hug you.
We're hugging virtually. Thank you
Exactly.
so much. I appreciate you. And I appreciate all of you for watching. Again, my name is Amanda Sweet. This is the Let's Glow show. Every single week we come back and we talk to amazing creative entrepreneurs. Next Wednesday will be no different. We will be back. Some fun news. The Revamp Clothing Swap Festival for the summer is now live. We're doing it on September 7th. We are currently on the hunt for a Detroit venue. So if anybody knows one, let us know. We need a big outdoor space with a kitchen and that has food and booze so that I can pay them and then I don't have to do it. We're
Yeah,
also looking for
understandable.
sponsors. No, it's a lot, but I want to have really great food for people. I want to have really great drinks for people. I'm also going to be developing a sponsorship program and we're accepting brand ambassadors. I do have a very special surprise. We are going to be affiliated with a new group. I'm not going to share it yet because I'll share it on Instagram, but
Mhm.
stay tuned. And we'll share this really super awesome collab that's coming up September 7th. But until then, stay amazing. And we love you so much. This is Amanda Sweet with the Let's Glow Show, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Amanda.